Welcome back to Noviland, and today we're doing part two of this is my first gin cruise. This is my first major event. I'm joining the club. I'm on the cruise. I did a video that hopefully some of you seen that. If not, go back check out part one. While you're doing that, oh yeah, like and subscribe. I'm supposed to say that stuff. Like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Tell your friends, tell everybody. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I enjoy making them, and they're fun. So thank you, thank you. Anyways, we answered some questions. I got a whole bunch more questions. Some people asked me to few questions, and some of them I just kind of came up with it on my own. So yeah, there's a big long line of people asking questions. No, it really isn't. Okay, here's a fun one. Will I see Kevin? Hi, Kevin. I'm your biggest fan. Yeah, you may see Kevin. He obviously has a private suite, and so just like the VIP suites at any of the hotels, only many people are allowed up there. Some people actually have a free pass because he had this lottery when he had the I'm going on the gin cruise button, and people won that, and so they get to go visit him in his suite. But if you're not one of those people, and I'm not this time or anything like that, it's always possible you may see him at a specialty restaurant, or you know, people walk in the elevator and he may be in the elevator with you going up. So anything is possible. If none of those things happen, there's going to be some general sessions he'll be doing. Who knows? Maybe he'll do his YouTube show. He did that in the old days on the cruise. So probably at some point you're going to see Kevin either at one of the general sessions or on the ship. So there's a good chance, yeah, you'll see Kevin and, you know, say hi, be courteous, and all those good things. Okay, next is water and booze packages. Yeah, you could buy a booze package if you're a drinker. Um, Obviously, this is a gin cruise. This isn't just a party cruise or a booze cruise. So you want to drink responsibly, or if you're from Wisconsin, drink Wisconsinably, whatever that is. But in any case, try not to overdo it. Have a few drinks, enjoy yourself. You can get a package. They're online when you check in. You can look at all the packages. If not, every cruise I've been on, they come up to me and say, "Hey, you want to buy the package?" And they show me the list. So if you forget that, they'll tell you again. And if not, if you just want to drink here and there, that's fine. You use your room key and just buy a drink here and there. You do the same for water, where you could actually buy, a six pack or a case of water and have it put bottled water right into your room. I don't know the brand or anything for people who are looking for like the best water or don't want to drink out of a bottle or whatever your water fetish is. They do have some water options. Obviously, in the restaurants, they have whatever kind of water they're serving, uh, whatever ship tap is. I can't really tell you about the quality of ship tap, but they do have some bottled water, so you can get that. You can also buy it one at a time. So there's definitely booze and water options are plenty. All right, ports and excursions. Well, if you've this is your first cruise, I would recommend getting off at least one port. So there's two ports. One is their little private island, which is kind of fun. They have a beach restaurant, I think a water slide, and a little beach party. A beautiful little private island in the middle of the ocean. That's kind of fun if you've never experienced that. The other port is Nassau, which I think is actually the first port. And if you've never been to Nassau or the Bahamas, you may want to get off. There's packages and excursion tours and all sorts of things you could pay for and book when you're checking in. And you could look through the check-in. I think they had like 60 something different excursions you could buy. Be careful on the times of that. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time getting on and off the ship, because if you're late getting back on the ship, they don't wait for you. So just be aware of the time and all that, and you can do that, or you can just get off the ship, take a walk, and have fun. And I've done that where I've just gotten off, walked into town, and saw what there was to see. Just kind of experienced it and walked around on my own. Bring a friend, bring your new roommate who you're just meeting, or whoever you got. Yeah, if you've never been on one of those, try to get off the ship at least once, because you're on the ship for 5 days and you just might want to get off and break it up a little bit, see something new. You're on this beautiful experience. Some more luxurious cruises, you can go and you wake up in a different port, a different country every other day. That's pretty cool, I think. Okay, what else we got? If there's more. Should I bring hats and sunscreen? Yes. Bring a hat, bring sunscreen. My first cruise, I was on the beach in Miami for a few days. By the time I got on the ship, my legs were red. And I had sunscreen too. But it was just, I went from Chicago to Miami and, was running around in the water and, one thing led to another. And next thing you know, I got a little cooked. It was fine though, but, lesson learned. So just be aware the sun is a little stronger, than it is in some places. Even though it's winter, it's still strong enough to cook you. So be aware of that. What else? Is it hard to sleep on a ship? Nah. You're going to be moving around so much. It might take a little bit, once you kind of get your sea legs and get the feel. But once you lay down in that bed, you get comfortable, you're probably out like a light. And I've never really had any problems sleeping on the ship. Try sleeping on a train, that thing rocks around. So yeah, the ship might bounce around a little bit, but I went on the Alaskan cruise and we were just that one day in the North Seas before you get on the inside passage was a little rough. I doubt we're going to be on anything nearly that rough. And even that was kind of fun. It wasn't so bad. So I don't expect you'll have any problems sleeping on the ship at all. Again, if you have any seasickness issues, refer to the first video. You can always get your seasickness pills. Uh, what else? So I got one more for you. What is the mustard drill? Okay, just like you're on a plane and you have the little safety drill before they take off, there's a mustard drill. For a ship, it's a little different and it's mandatory. So you'll probably have on your room key card or somewhere it'll tell you where to go for your mustard drill. The mustard drill is mandatory for everybody on the ship. You can't sail on any commercial ship out of the US without going on a mustard drill. It takes like 10 minutes. Basically, you need to find, in case of an emergency, where you're supposed to go. So we're not all panicked, like it's the Titanic or something. You'll be fine, but just like any safety thing, you need to know where to go. They show you how to put on a life jacket. Um, you'll be in your little area, which is maybe like 20, 30 people, and the next 20, 30 people are there. And, sometimes you're by the lifeboats and sometimes your muster section is in like the theater or wherever they have you, but just somewhere where, your person could lead you to safety, with your group of 20 or 30. So, this is an emergency. I know where to go and what to do. So those are mandatory for any ship. Again, as I mentioned, do not show up at the muster drill with a drink with an umbrella. Wait till after and you get your sea legs for that. You're not supposed to have that, and there's really nowhere to hide those. I tried to do that, and so I drank it really quick, and maybe not the best idea. That was my first cruise, and I learned. But, anyways, I hope you enjoyed these videos. And yeah, we're coming up on the cruise. It's just over a week away, and God bless you all. I'm going to see you there at sea, and have the best time. Love you all. Bye.